So I'm just playing around with this function. I was hoping to get a split screen. Some cameras know how to do that, so I can be like, oh yes, this and this. But I don't know how on earth to make anything a split screen because I was gonna be like, oh, what do I think of this video? So I'm just gonna have to do it from one angle. My old camera had split screen and it was so cool because you can do like back and front, at the same time. Um, this is something I hardly ever buy, but that's actually I love $5 meals, like when you can get them. But I hardly ever know what they are. Anyway, take it off these ads. I'm not really here to do the ads. As much as we love technology, and we just bought a new microwave, and it's really cool. Um, I haven't used microwaves in ages, so. But this is like the new Elvis thing. I just gotta put my earphones on so I can hear it. I like the song. It's like that echoey sound at here, and that Joker face. It's like it's like it interests you in the story. Like what is the Joker face about, sort of thing. This is supposed to be, I guess, the gospel influence on him, but no one really knows that he dipped into some tent somewhere to learn how to sing or something. This is supposed to be like his first show, and he doesn't like look like Elvis, but it'd be interesting to see like what his character does because it seems like a mixture of good singer and a complex, sincere personality sort of thing, I guess. But I just when I first saw this, I just don't think the guy actually looks like Elvis. I think Elvis had a little bit more dynamic about him. But he's still good, pretty good looking in a way. But he doesn't look exactly like Elvis, and everyone's like thinking that guy doesn't look like Elvis. Elvis was a little bit more better looking in a different way. It's like you'd think Elvis had different, more impressive looks, I think. I like this bit where he's chewing gum. It's coming out. Hang on. I like this angle. I like that bit because I like the songs and stuff. I like that bit. I like that bit because it looks like his picture when he's crying about his parents dying and stuff. That one. I like that bit for some reason. It just stands out. This is like a really good montage of from early to later career. And I'd be like really interested in how you get the classic Elvis and then like the 1970s Elvis, like the different version of it Elvis, like a more poppy, goes with, color screen kind of Elvis, whereas previously it was a classical, more like a classic Elvis, where he fit in like the 19 like the I don't know how old he is, but the time before it's like two generations of different Elvises. So yeah. So this actually looks like a really interesting film to me. I know it's not going to be like watching Elvis, but it looks like something that would be kind of pretty interesting. Something that I'd probably want to see, I think. And if I like it, I'd probably want to buy the video because I've I don't know. If it's like really engaging, and you're like, oh, I want to see that again. I usually buy the video. I was like that with some other singer bios, and I was like, oh, I have to buy the video for that. And it's like, I think this one's like, depending on what it is like. I mean, I wouldn't buy every Elvis video on the planet, but this one looks pretty good, I think. Um, But I like the way that they're gonna merge like Army Elvis and then early Elvis and then you know the later periods of life. But it's like um so would be very excited to see that, but I think um I think it'd be like the songs are gonna be like all echoey and really good sound and everything. And I think it's just on a cinema screen. I think it's just gonna be like resounding throughout the whole cinema sort of thing, because he's got like that kind of voice that just I think just you can hear it very well, and when it's done with all the echo and the sound um, editing and stuff, it'd be like, wow, that sounds really good. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that movie actually looks better than most other Elvises that I've seen. There's only one that I've seen previously that I watched quite a few times, like all the ones with like stars in them. Um, I think I think I can't even remember them who they are. There's like Russell someone. I can't even remember who has done Elvis movies. Um, I don't know. Heaps of people have tried to do them, but this one actually looks like a cinematic Elvis. Like something you can watch. It has a little bit better. Something better about it. I mean, everyone loves most Elvis movies, I'm sure, but I think this one looks like really good cinema sort of movie. Um, so there are movies, and then there's movies, and some movies you just have to wrap them in a package, and everyone will want to buy it, and other movies are like, oh, it's not sure if everyone got that, but it's still made a heap of money. Yeah, but I don't know. I like watching different movies, different takes of like the same similar things. Like I watch like so many Marilyn Monroe bio movies, and it's not funny. And I could probably watch another one. And same with Elvis. I think he's got that. I don't know. There are many different angles you can put on a cinema, about their lives and things. And this one just happens to be look a lot like the way he sings, and the a little bit of drama about the things that people didn't like about him and stuff. And I like the fact that he's going through the different stages of his career, because it's like he's changed from like someone kind of old fashioned into someone fairly drugged up, drugged up and poppy, I guess, for your 1970s there. And no, he turned into multi technicolor, and he seemed to still carry a good performance level and things. So but so it's yeah, I'd be interested to see it. I saw some Elvis impersonators once, or a few times, and they're so nasty. They don't have any like niceness about them. No, they do. But the crowds are so nasty that you can't be here. You're not. The kind of people is should be here. And stuff. So they sort of like have select crowds and things, because people get booted out if they're not like the people that other people in the crowd want to watch them. But aside from that, they've got all the powerful voices of an Elvis impersonator. It's like, I don't know if Elvis sang like that exactly, but they do, and it's like, wow, that sounds really explosive. It's like just the sound sort of just carries. Obviously if you listen to it all the time, you probably be like, oh, boring. That singer like died out in 1950s and only just recovered after he did like his Hawaiian concert. And he wasn't really that big. He was like more like a local talent. He was just like fairly popular, and he was like dying out before he did his Hawaiian concert, and then he got big again, so his flame had almost extinguished, and they're like, oh, he's so old, his songs are so old, we listened to them ages ago. It's like, who would listen to them now? It's like, a lot of people would. I think they just have like, I don't know, some sound thing going on and the song, and it's quite interesting to listen to. Um, I used to be a bigger fan than what I am now. Now I don't really listen to them, but when I was first listening to them, I got like 3 albums, and I got 2 magazines, and I watched like every video of his from the video store just to see what his acting career was like, and I was like, I was eating popcorn and chewing on lollies just to sit through it, because they're not that great. I mean, they're good, but they're not that great, and after a while, you realize, oh, he's going a bit up and down there, he's a bit tubby here and a bit something there, and that's a little bit boring, but I'm kind of getting it, and stuff like that. So but I think the thing that I sort of latched onto the most was his concert video. I think that was like something that I watched over and over again. And I watched Jailhouse Rock was really popular on TV. You would see it come up as a classic every now and like quite a few times in a year. So I watched Jailhouse Rock quite a few times, and Blue Hawaii comes up on the TV quite a bit. And so just like Roustabout as well, that one came up quite a few times on the TV. Other films that he didn't come up quite so often, but he did do a heap of other films like G.I. Joe is a pretty interesting film. No, it's not interesting. It's like classic, and it's like that was on TV sometimes. So I got to watch like a few of them, but it was obvious like Jailhouse Rock was one of the big ones, and his Blue Hawaii was a big one, and that Roustabout one was a big one. I don't know why. That was like his dipping career stage, and I was like, but that one made it to TV quite a bit when I was growing up and stuff, like from 1990s to like 2008 or something, until I stopped watching TV so much. I don't really watch it so much now, but every now and again he pops up on the TV, and you're like going, ooh, but I think I really liked his concert video, even though I didn't actually get the video, because you can watch it for free on YouTube. But I got the album of the concert, so and so I was like walking around, walking to and fro, just listening to this CD of his, and I was like, oh, it's pretty interesting. I watched it. I listened to it like heaps and heaps of times, and I bought these magazines. It has these old pictures, and some of these pictures aren't so great, but most of them are pretty good. In a way, like Michael Jackson, I can't stand his pictures because he looks so bad, and you're like, how is that possible when he looks so good on film? But Elvis is like has a heap of good pictures, and I'm like going, oh, this is nice and that's nice, he's got quite a few pictures that obviously make him famous because he looks quite good in them, and everything. But some of them I'm sort of sick of, but I think, I don't like the one where he's close up, he's got his head tilted to the side, and he's like in this like pouting position, and there's a lot of dark around him, and it sort of accentuates his face a little bit, and I just don't, that one is like one of his most famous pictures, and I just can't stand it because like I've seen it and I'm like, oh, I don't really like that picture, but it's like one of his most famous pictures that was out there. The one where he's got like really groovy hair and he's in portrait to the side is like, that's not actually that popular. but because his hair was done up so well, it's like interesting to see how his hair goes. Because no one does that anymore. No one does that greasy, 1950s or 40s or whatever hairstyle. And he obviously did. That was his trademark for a while. And it was like, when he was younger, it was a big thing. It's like how he liked to do his hair, and like people, I guess, like that image. But no one would do it now. Everyone's like, oh, let's get rid of our hair, let's cut it short. But back then it was like something, it's interesting to see in a picture because it just has so many like variations, and in a picture, it accentuates the hair really well, and you're like going, oh, that looks like really nice hair. But yeah. But all in all, I would be quite interested in seeing that movie, I think, because I don't know, it seems interesting. And I just want to see like how it is, how it like tells the story of his career, because I think that would be difficult to start with someone who's sort of like old-fashioned classic and that merges into pop culture, or not pop culture, but into modern culture sort of thing. It's like two variations, and it's like, how are you going to merge that together? It's like, well, let me show you, because it sort of looks like he's like two different people in a way, and you're like thinking, oh, is that Elvis? And it's like, oh, is that Elvis? It's like the emerging of two different personalities in a way. It's like this rough 1940s or 30s or whatever, I don't know when he was born. It's like this rough good kid who wants to do good but gets into rough things at first. He has that for like his first portion of career, and then he merges into like some hypercolor comedian who has girls falling over him, who has nothing on his mind but girls, and and is like, he's still bad tempered in a way, but he's sort of peppy, I guess. And I don't know, it just looks like two different people, and you're like going, oh, that's an interesting point in the movie to see like someone who's got classic looks to someone who's got poppy looks, up to 1970s looks, I guess. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to see it. I don't care if no one else wants to, but I might not see it in the cinemas, so I might have to just buy the video when it comes out, because we're living in the country. We're living far away from civilization. No one's going to drive me to go to see a cinema film. So unless I move into a rental and I'm close to the cinemas, I'm probably not going to get to see it in the cinemas. And I'm like, oh, but I want to see it. I want to see it now. It's like jumping in my chair, but I don't think I'm going to see it unless I move somewhere. This is all I'm going to see, literally. It's like nature. And there's no cinemas anywhere near here. And I'm like going, oh, no. I went to see that movie, but we might take a venture to, I might go stay at a resort or something for a couple of days, and for a day, and and see it. No, I would, but no, that's not really. I think I might just end up buying the movie after it's gone through the cinemas, and then watch it on TV, because it does look pretty good, and something, even though the guy that doesn't really look like Elvis exactly, but it still looks pretty good, and I probably can watch it like more than once. So fair share to just get the movie and just not see it in the cinemas, I guess. It is possible that I could be moving close to the city, but I'm not sure because they haven't approved my application, and I put it in over 2 weeks ago. And I would just expect someone who has actually seen the property that I was looking at to actually get the property. Like, I should look on the internet, like if it's been come and gone, because I applied for it like over 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I didn't get that property. So I might just have to buy the video and be like, Well, I missed it in the cinema, but I got to see it on video, even though I went to see it in cinema. But yeah, I don't know. I'll just wait and see. It's not coming till July, so March, April, May, June, July. 3 months, well, 2 months, and it's the third month. So it's like April, May, June, July. So 3 months before it comes out. So in that 3 months, I could be moved to the city, so I can see it. But if I'm not, no biggie. I'll just buy the video and watch it as many times as I want. Hopefully, it's good enough to watch as many times as I want, because but I'm really excited for it. I think it's a better film than other Elvis films. So I would be safe to say that yes, I'm going to buy that video, and yes, I'm going to enjoy it, because I would hate to buy a video and I don't actually enjoy the movie. So, but I think it's pretty safe to say that I will enjoy it. So, and probably the type of movie I can watch over and over again. So that's cool. So I'll probably end up buying it anyways. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely do think that ad looks interesting, and it just makes me want to see the movie, because it just gives you, I like how, the classic, like I said, I like how the classic Elvis was developed into the movie. It's not just about his later stage of career, it's also got him from his army days and early stage of career too. And I'm like going, oh, that's really good, because people forget, the later versions linked to the earlier version, and you're like going, yeah, I'm really glad they put that in, because I like to see both versions, and I'm like, ooh, it's got the classic Elvis too, and not just the later Elvis. So that's really good. Anyway, I better stop talking about Elvis and get up to what I'm really supposed to be doing, because it's been almost half an hour now. I'm actually supposed to be editing my story so I can shove it online, so that I don't leave, so that it's not lost in a sudden cyclone. So, so I'm trying to get it edited as soon as possible. So it's like 130 pages of editing to do. So I'll probably do some today, and probably take a week, I guess, to edit, and then it'll be all good for the online store. I haven't really sold anything yet, but one of these days I might. But I still enjoyed writing. I just write for a hobby, and it doesn't matter if I sell things or not, but at least I have them somewhere safe, and I can order a copy and stuff, and I'm like, ooh. So that's what I'm supposed to be doing today. Well, it's raining and wet and miserable, so right after I have something to eat, because then I'm thirsty and hungry, and it's like 1:40. It's going to be like 2 before I start editing. That's okay. I can edit all night if I want. Nothing else to do here. Besides go out for a walk and look at the trees, and it's raining today, so yeah. So it's pretty safe to say that I'll be editing all day.